Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for having me today. This is my first time at the conference, and I just want to take a second for saying thank you for making me feel welcomed and accepted. So, I have a wonderful opportunity today to come and talk to you about a new thing that we are doing at I Am Boundless that may not be so new, and that is therapeutic gaming. And the first piece that I thought of when, as all good speakers do, thinking about what are you going to say in front of hundreds of people, how are you not going to mess up, I began to daydream. And as my mind started to wander, it wandered all the way back to 6th grade. Now, in 6th grade history class, I remember my teacher, Mr. Baxter. And Mr. Baxter taught us this game surrounding history. Now, in this game, you could gain rank from a civilian all the way up to a general, as we were learning about the Civil War. Now, I could tell you about the Battle of Bull Run, the Gettysburg Address, but I'll save those for another time in another speech. But as I was going back on this and actually speaking with a friend of mine who was in the class with me, it dawned on me, we learned so much more than facts about the Civil War. We learned communication skills. We learned problem-solving skills. We learned how to avoid conflict. And as I came and brought this into my practice, my friends at the Bodana group coined it perfectly. Fundamentals begin with fun. These things that I have learned and that I have brought into my professional career all start with fun. So as we are moving forward with our gaming group at I Am Boundless, that is what we are looking to implement into our culture. Having fun. We know that working with individuals as a therapist, the base aspect is therapeutic rapport. If your client doesn't trust you, if your client doesn't believe in what you are saying, no amount of therapeutic interventions are going to stick. We have to find a way to gain trust and gain comfortability. What better way of doing that than having fun? Now, I understand that I'm speaking to a lot of therapists, so I feel as though I'm at home when saying, Uno is where we feel at home. Right? I have one in every single one of my offices and 2 at home. But it doesn't have to stop there. We are able to implement different types of games that help our clients work on different sets of skills based on where they are. Now, when I'm talking about games, I'm sure as you can understand, I'm not talking about this, right? This is something that we don't necessarily want to associate with for our practice, but more so this, board games. Now, the understanding is the amount of board games that we have at our disposal can help us to get that rapport built, not just in individual sessions or individual classrooms, but bring a group together and help the group start to rely on each other. Build that resilience, build that trust, build that community, and build that acceptance. As we move forward at I Am Boundless, I see in my work, when we are working with individuals primarily on the autism spectrum or diagnosed with an intellectual developmental disability, some of the key barriers that we see are lack of social interaction, lack of problem-solving skills, lack of acceptance into their community, whether it be in the classroom, at home, or outside. Having that safe place where we are able to sit down over a board game and build that trust, build that community, build that safe space where we're able to work on these skills in an organic setting has proven to have a multitude of benefits, some that we weren't even aware were possible when we started this. As I've talked with some of my colleagues, we noted that there are individuals that we have worked with who we didn't necessarily pinpoint as someone who would be the best fit, or they may not take to this as well. The facts that we have seen is individuals come out of their shells when it's talking about the opportunity to slay a goblin, or to conquer a castle, or to climb up a shooting ladder. Right? These pieces build safety, build acceptance, and build resiliency. Now, as a therapist, I fall into the common misconception that I am here to fix things, and I am here to help, and I have to be the person that is the main leader in helping this. Now, I want to tell you all, this gaming group has helped me understand that I am just a bystander. I can bring the board out, I can lay out the rules, I can bring where we want to go with the game. But this is where our peers lift each other up. Teaching each other the rules implements communication skills, teaching skills, learning skills. Navigating a different way of how to work around a barrier, problem-solving skills, conflict resolution skills, a healthy competitive game, anger management skills. You name them, we can put them into the board. I think back to that time in 6th grade, and I think of how I learned these skills. And I never even knew that. I didn't know that I was learning. And to me, that is the most beautiful thing that can be offered. When we're learning and we don't even know it. We're learning while we're having fun. What better way to learn than to have fun? A side piece of this that is coming out of our gaming grant is the relationships that are being built. The common ground that we now have with our clientele that are able to form around a multitude of games, or maybe just some individual games. We have a group right now that we're running surrounding Dungeons and Dragons. The amount of individuals that talk about the different quests that they are looking to dive into and bringing different things to the table, spending their own money that they're going home and bringing back to the board game is remarkable. I say all of this to tell you all, it doesn't take a lot from us. I work on 3 pillars of my clientele when it comes to this. That our clients are looking for control, our clients are looking for acceptance, and our clients are looking for relationships. That piece can be formulated into the board so that we have those opportunities to teach all 3. In my mind, I'm thinking of locus of control, all of the therapeutic interventions that we can have, all the therapeutic interventions that I can come with. For the kid that I'm working with, I'm talking about controlling a monopoly piece. How can you control the dice? It's a random event. When I'm talking about connection, I'm talking about, hey, how can we create better building blocks? How can we create positive social relationships? How can we create a positive environment for social culture? To the kid that I'm working with, he hears, how can you work with your board mate to gain the goal, to complete the objective? Now, in my training of becoming a therapeutic gaming master, I've worked with my friends at the Bodana group. I know that's kind of silly to even say, a therapeutic gaming master. I didn't know what that was before I started my training, and now it's all I can think about. But as we've moved forward, it gives us the opportunity as clinicians, as teachers, as behavioral technicians, whatever you may be, to put your own spin on things. To create a game that you can implement into your classroom, into your sessions, that allow our individuals to take this and make it part of their own. Now, one common question that I normally get when I'm talking about these things is, Nate, what if we're working with people of different levels? What if we're working with people who are at different education levels? What if I'm working with people who are at different social levels, right? It's a good question. The answer that I would have for you to this is we can tweak that. We have the ability to tweak these games in such a way that it makes things fun. Never forgetting that we are there to have fun. Again, I can't say it enough. Fundamentals begin with fun. There's a game that we implemented at I Am Boundless called Monstrosity, where the goal of the game is to draw the monster on the card as quickly as you can on a whiteboard, and then one person is chosen to select the winner of each round. Now, I will share with you in a very vulnerable state, I cannot draw. I struggle to draw a stick figure. It's not something that that's not my strong suit. We tweaked the game so that we did our best to draw, and we talked about it. We talked about what was hard for us to draw. We talked about what did we like to draw. Was the monster scary? And what came out of that was individuals opening up about what scared them. What came out of that was individuals talking about how this influenced from their past times, being frightened. That leads to a much deeper conversation, one that we all strive for when we're talking therapeutically. And what a wonderful thing for a child to feel safe enough with me and with their peers to be able to talk about something that frightens them based off of a card and us drawing. The other barrier that I hear, I don't have time for games. I can't fit that into my schedule, right? I have things that I need to accomplish. I hear you. I hear you. To that, I would say, who says the game needs to be long? Who says the game needs to only be in that session? For those of you Dungeons and Dragons players, I am new to this, so I'm learning as well. We know that these games take days, weeks, months. Can't be completed in a day. But dedicating that time to having fun allows our client base that safe, organic place to open themselves up, be vulnerable, work with each other, build those meaningful relationships that they may not have elsewhere. I think as a closing remark, I'd like to ask you all to think of a time when you built a strong connection, when you built something with somebody that you had a very good relationship with afterwards. And think to yourself, what was I doing when that relationship started? I would venture to guess that a fair amount of you would say, I was having fun with them. I would like for this to be an opportunity to share with you all the opportunity to have fun with your clients. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you.